Okie dokie. So, deloads. This week is going to be a deload for you. And at the end of the week, you're going to have a test day for your deadlift. Essentially what a deload is it's pulling back on how hard we're going, how much we're doing, for roughly a week. Kind of depends, really doesn't matter. And what that allows us to do is recover, because we've been pushing you super duper hard. You have been really pushing the RPE for the last couple of weeks, which is great, it's what we're going for. But you build all this fatigue that we need to then shed. We gotta get rid of the fatigue so that your fitness and your strength can shine. Hence the test day, which is why I'm having you touch weights that you have not touched thus far, at least that I'm aware of, that since working together. And for our purposes, we're using a combination of two kinds of deloads, because there's 3 or 4 variations. I tend to mix them together depending on the individual's needs. And so what you're gonna see this week in your program is some things are gonna have slightly fewer sets, because that's how we think of volume. Weekly volume is number of total hard sets. There's other ways to quantify that, but that's just the way that I like to do it. And then the most important part is we're taking weight off of the bar. So it's very important that you don't go too hard and you don't overshoot. You don't, if you see a 115-pound squat for a set of 7 reps, almost said 17, sorry, for 7 reps, it's very important that you realize this is supposed to be easy. We need it to be easy, so don't go 125, 135, 145 or anything like that. Again, we gotta get you to recover. But the unique part of deloads, and I think this is probably one of the most important things that people tend to miss, is it allows us this unique opportunity to work on form in a way that we can't usually get away with in training. You'll notice a lot of your work, your programming is tempo work, slow on the way down, a solid pause on the chest for bench, and then explode up. Or squats, you're gonna squat nice and slow, get the hit your positions, get your cues, pause and pop up fast. And that's all well and good for training, for traditional training. And that's exactly what we're looking for every other week of the block. But this time, for this week, what I want you to focus on with these extra light weights, which means they're totally manageable, is moving slowly on the way up. So, excuse me, off the chest with the bench, out of the hole with the squat, nice and slow. And what I want you to focus on with this is your mind-muscle connection. You're already beginning to really internalize all your cues, which is great. Eventually you won't have to keep thinking about them. You're killing it, I'm not worried about cues at all. But for this week, for mind-muscle connection's sake, I'd like you to focus on go down, doing your bench, doing your bench, doing your bench, you're on the chest, you pause, and instead of exploding up, I want you to just slowly, really, okay, feel your triceps, your shoulders, your pecs, the bar path, really think your way through it, really feel your way through it more. And what that's gonna allow us to do is work on coordination in terms of, okay, when do I do this? When do I do that? The bench, it's a little more difficult because it kind of seems like one fluid motion. I think the squat is going to be an easier example. And so, because you and I squat very similarly, this is going to be a very easy explanation. So doing your squat, doing your squat, doing your squat, you hit the hole and you come up, but you're going real slow. So you hit the hole and you come up slowly. You're going to feel a lot of tension in the muscles that you're looking for. And I want you to be like, okay, come out of the hole. That's a lot of quad. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, when do I hip in? Glutes. Oh, there. You're gonna feel the tension in the muscles that we're trying to hit. You're gonna feel the tension in the areas that's gonna provide you the mechanics that we're looking for. And so, specifically with your squat, how would I explain this part? So this week you worked on the thoracic extension part, and the prior 2 weeks you worked on the getting your butt between your heels, really opening up the hips, getting your quads going. Beautiful, awesome, you're right where you need to be. Now, we're gonna kind of put all that together, because I got you doing 3 really big cues. And sometimes we think about them separately, which is good at first, but eventually we gotta put them together. And after you start putting them together, you get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the road, all of a sudden these are internalized like completely.